Hi, this is Day to Day with St. Joseph. It's Father Barry. I've been continuing my look on the earthy side of St. Joseph, and also then the human earthy side of Jesus, though he is divine, the Son of God, eternal, incarnate. Every time we talk about St. Joseph, it really is to help us to be a better Christian and to follow Christ. Joseph is not an end in himself. He's there to lead us to Jesus. And that's what this year of faith is. And Joseph then is someone that the Lord Jesus has put out there for us and said, look at this model and look at how much I appreciate Joseph. Look at me, and I subject myself and live under his house. And look at the honor I give to faithful men of Israel, the remnant faith. And I want a remnant faith in my people today. And I need people to do that. And women say, yes, we need that faith to be rebuilt. And we need our families rebuilt. And we need men to be men. So women, they have talked to me and said they've noticed, the neighborhood environment and, the divorce culture and infidelity and entitlement and abuse, and they just feel like that the church's efforts to reach out are so desperately needed, whether it's men's groups, Knights of Columbus, family kind of operations, whether it's just a good religious ed program, a Catholic school program, and support to, homeschooling, and just bringing in the influence of the Christian faith and fatherhood. And they just said we need to reach out to direct our boys to become men, Christian men, men of Christ. And so I was remembering back in my priesthood of how as priest, I'm in the role of supporting that kind of stuff to happen. I remember I was the director of religious ed in a parish for 5 years. I was also the youth minister. I was also taught in the Catholic school. I also ran a youth program for a civic youth program in the school once a week. And it was to build up young people, and I had my eye especially on young men, especially fatherless young men. And I remember how my role as a father figure was so important. And I remember this one particular family, the father left the kids and the wife and ran off with somebody else in the county and just kind of left them all in the dust. And the woman was from the county, but the man was from elsewhere. He was an outsider. He was not really a man of faith, but his wife was. His wife has all 3 kids with the religious ed, and one was an altar server, and I tried to rally some other men in the parish to try to support this family along with myself. And remember this one particular man in the church, he stepped in and he helped a lot with finances and just see what the boys needed, the 2 boys in the family and the girl, and just reached out. And that was just an impressive thing to me and a wonderful memory of us all working together as parish. I remember this one boy, he was in the family, and his mom had, all his siblings were from different men, and nobody had committed to his mother. And yet I had him as an altar server, and his brother, and his other brother. And so my role in there was to try to help them, especially with the ethnic background they had, and trying to help them to not be too affected by what was going on all around them, but to step in and see what Christ was doing in his. Hey, abruptly, we're going to transition to the outside, and I wasn't finished that thought, but I'm going to take the camera to the Christian Brothers house over here in Beltsville, where I am parked. And I was just, again, thinking about, youth in the parish, like in that particular parish, 3 kids and 5 other kids, and they don't have any fathers in the home. And so, St. Joseph and the church rallies to help these kids to grow up and feel loved and to get some father figures in the picture for them. And I think back to those kids, and I'm sure it's made a big difference in their life today, what the parish did for them. We were just trying to get them to be Christ-centered and just see that Christ could supply through His church ways for the children to be loved. Since those 8 children were in the religious ed program, they did not have a father in the home, and one by divorce, the other one by the mothers could not get a commitment out of the men that fathered those children. But gave birth to them. So it was just good to see every Sunday the youth there coming to church, coming to religious ed, and being involved and growing up Catholic. St. John Baptist de DeSales is behind me. I'm at the DeSales retirement home in Beltsville. I don't know if you know about that religious order of brothers, but they've done a lot of good work too for children throughout the years. And I'm at their retirement home here. And they have a legacy going back 250 years to France. And now there's 1 million youth in DeSales teaching places. My father was educated by the Christian Brothers. And it's just it's a great organization for the last two and a half centuries in the church. And started being a school for poor youth, poor girls, poor boys, and it just became an educational giant in the church of people willing to help pay for a private school so that youth could be educated in the faith and educated well for society. This place has an interesting statue on it. It's a dog. Normally you see angels and saints and Jesus, but in this case they have a few statues on the property, but one of them is an interesting little character I want to introduce to you now. There's got to be a story that goes with this interesting statue. There's got to be a good story. Here we are, Tuesday, May 11th, with a little chuckle for you. And I thought I'd take it inside before I finish because the wind is cutting off some of my words. So I was just thinking of fatherless children today. 1 out of 4 are some of the stats. Children that don't have father in the home with them, or the really close guidance of fathers. And so in the year of St. Joseph, we think of how the church can step in the gap there, and men and women, to try to bring the love of Joseph into these kids' lives, especially kids. Really, they need the love, and if they're missing some of it, they need to have it. I want to give a salute to catechists and youth ministers. I want to give a shout out to DREs and CREs. That's Director of Religious Education or Coordinator. And to thank people like Ida and Maureen and Helene, some of the people I've worked with through the years running a religious ed program, and we know the stories of families, and we know the brokenness of families that we're serving, and we just want the kids to still have a home at the church. And And in the end, we want them to feel like St. Joseph is another kind of father figure for them, someone to step in. The priest, too, is meant to be a father figure. So I've been very, very involved in religious ed in my parish's youth ministry and Catholic schools, trying to be present a lot. And I was asking a woman, who was a principal over at St. John's when I served there, Mary Ann, when I was leaving, I said that she had had me in 2 schools. I had taught in another school she was at years before. I said, so what am I doing right? And she said, what you're doing right is that you have a presence, that you are present, and you're present a lot, and that everybody knows you well, and you're approachable. And I said, yes. And I really, so in this year of St. Joseph, I remember that compliment. But I thank the Joseph figures in my life that modeled that. And of course, Joseph always pointing to Jesus, the Jesus-hearted good people that we've had in our faith communities, our parishes, our church. I enjoy all the good memories of people who have impacted me then and people still impacting me now. And so you and I, we think about that, and we think about how Joseph is still trying to inspire us. As he loved Jesus, now we love the children that are under our care. This is Father Barry. See you Wednesday.